Okay, hello. Good morning, happy Monday, Shiva Day. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. This is Ian Souza, founder of Heal in the Global Village, owner of the Global Firewalk Institute, and creator of the Soulful Mondays. Thank you. I'm here in New Hampshire, geographically, and we have Jose and Anna here for Soulful Mondays. And I'm going to let you introduce yourself again. Reminder, it's 11:05. At 11:11, the three of us with the world, hopefully, will have a moment of silence for humanity's soul and all those souls that have crossed. So go right into it and let's hear who you are. Tell us about you. That's not the alarm. That's somebody calling. Oh, and the other thing,
timing.
Yeah, the other thing to say is, Soulful Mondays is very organic. It's raw and real. There's no rehearsal to it. There's no cutting and editing it. I just like to keep it as organic so that people can really feel us connecting. It's the first time I've met both of you, and I am very grateful to have you here. So thank you so much.
That's the way I like it, Anne. Raw and real. My name is Jose Calarco. I'm one of the co-directors of Forrest Yoga, a healing form of yoga. I'm also director for Descendants Aboriginal Theatre Company, which is a Indigenous traditional dance company. I've been in that role for just under 30 years, and my role in Forrest Yoga for around 7-8 years. I've toured the world extensively, both with Forrest Yoga and also Descendants Aboriginal. I'm a vegan activist and talker, protector of animals. I also am delve into shamanism, and basically I'm interested in healing people as a whole: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual.
My name is Anna Forrest, as in Forrest Yoga. I'm the creatrix of Forrest Yoga. And Jose and I have hooked up together for the last 8 years now and have co-created something of great beauty that literally is to feed the soul. That is what our intent is. And I come from a place of a lot of trauma and a lot of pain on all sorts of different levels, so far as physical and emotional and mental pain and drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and sexual abuse. And so learning how to heal from that level and to embody spirit. And these words are very light, like embody spirit, and yet it takes a tremendous focus and effort to work this path of freedom. And you know what? There is nothing that is more sexy and delicious. It's just like the best game in town.
Beautiful, sexy and delicious. I love it. Yeah. So thank you so much for both of your global work that you're doing in the world. And can you tell us, how can our viewers find you? Just like you got a social network, and we'll also post this for you. Yeah,
absolutely. Firstly, our website is probably the most comprehensive thing that you can see about Anna and I, and that's www.forrestyoga.com. Or you can get there just forrestyoga.com. The trick is that Forrest is spelt with 2 R's, not 1 R. And of course, we have social media sites, Forrest Yoga. You can find us on Google searches. And just remembering that Forrest has 2 R's. We have online channels now that people can't meet physically. We have online teacher trainings where people can do it on demand and in their own time. And we still like to do the occasional live work when we can. And we have an advanced teacher training coming up in Seattle in October. And of course, our teacher trainings are not just, they're not just about a physical workout. Our teacher trainings, we develop spiritual teachers. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for exercise teachers. We work the body, we still the mind, we express the emotions, and we nourish the soul. So we have music, ceremony, yoga, and we piece together our trainings like a good movie. You have the exciting beginning, intriguing midpoint, and happy ending.
Beautiful.
So we always make sure that our trainings, workshops are a spiritual feast.
Wonderful. Wow. Thank you. Yeah.
We found that a lot of people don't think about their spirit or their spiritual connection until they've had a life and death experience or they're dying. And personally, I think that's a little bit late. Like this life here, to quest for how do you unfold your spirit? How do you find your gifts and develop them? How do you connect to what's your purpose in being alive at this time? Now, this is a really important question because we are at such a strange time of humanity.
Sure. Yes.
So why are we here now? What do we have to contribute to this time?
Okay, and let's pause because we're at 11:11. So beautiful. Let's just have that moment of silence for humanity's soul, for the awakening of the soulful self and the souls that have crossed. And we'll have that together. Thank you. Blessings. Yeah, so let's let's get into this big soulful menu you guys have, truly. And I just absolutely love it. And it's like I say to one of my master teachers is, as I said to both of you, when we're talking about, humanity and the times that we're in here and the shifts that have happened in what I say is, we're in a global comma. There's something very big going on in the world. And, from 2020 to 2021. And I kind of think of it like, years back, you doing your work, me doing my work, the both of you, we were in these like-minded communities talking about, times shifting, especially you two in the Aboriginal cultures and the indigenous people. I've studied with a couple indigenous tribes, initiated as an elder in the Dagra African, and some of the grandmother medicine of Guatemala and some native as well. So we've been listening to this for a long time, and then something shifted in that 2020 flip of a switch where the whole world got to experience something. Whatever that is, everybody has their own story to it. And so in this, for you two and what you offer, and thank you, Anna, for, being so transparent to both of you, and particularly you as a female with some of the trauma, and how do we push and move in that, I don't know, for me, your expression when you were expressing it, I felt inside of me grace. And so, something so deep, something so profound, something so powerful. And, you also talking, Jose, about the various ways that you both work to awaken the soul.
Yeah.
Tell us a
That's
little bit
what I
about
learned
it.
from yoga classes. People's attention span was very short, and Anna and I get to have the students in a workshop for 2.5 hours. And I thought, we've got them for 2.5 hours here, so we can really use all our experience, our 2 lifetimes of experience, to make this 2.5 hour like a mass or a ceremony or something where we can really touch the soul, because people are coming to yoga classes to get rid of their neurotic, to leave their neurotic self at the door for a couple of hours. So I had a lifetime of experience in ceremonies, music, veganism, music healing. I toured the world. So I thought I could bring my lifetime of experience together with Anna's lifetime of experience and do a synergistic collision of all the things we do together and organize it, format it, like I said, a good movie or a good script where we can fit everything in the class. And like I said, with our teacher trainings, we're not creating exercise teachers, we're creating other spiritual teachers to keep the lineage of Forrest yoga going. So we have 2 lifetimes of experience. So we use our firsthand experience to teach, and not book knowledge or other people's teachings.
And so, go ahead, Anna.
I've questioned a lot about, what's spirit, what's my soul, what is that, and done myriad of ceremonies and learn how to set an intent to connect to that, and then finding out, what makes me disconnect from that. And that was very painful, because when finally connecting to my spirit or connecting to my soul, which feels slightly different, then when I would do actions that made me disconnect, there was all this shame and guilt and, I'm so stupid kind of a thing going on, and having to go past that swamp and reconnect and connect for longer periods of time. And so I think it's important when people start to go on this journey of, well, what's my soul and how do I connect to it? That understanding you're going to fall in and out of connection.
Yes.
You're going to fall in and out of connection. Absolutely. And just relax around that. And then start recognizing and making a warrior's choice about the things that put you out of connection. Drugs, alcohol, pornography, the stupid stuff of humanity will put you out of connection with your soul. So stop doing it.
So
it's a very simple, stop it.
Diet, environment. Yeah, and what you're bringing up is something I believe in humanity is, we could, focus on all the brokenness of humanity, and there's things that are there, parts and pieces. But I say here in Soulful Mondays, it's like, okay, but at what point do we start having some kind of content, language, because we know thoughts, words create thoughts, and thoughts create actions become patterns, and then we're manifesting our karma. But one of the things we know is that we have a sustainability issue, right? There's definitely an application issue, because we can activate. I'm a tantra massage therapist teacher, a yoga instructor, right? And hatha tantra. But it's like we can activate in this medicines, these modalities all day long. If we don't have an assimilation to be able to integrate it, to translate it with an application, then we're so backed up with this weekend workshop, weekend workshop, weekend workshop, and oh, I got to get this knowledge, got to get this knowledge, and then you go home and you don't have an application for it. It's actually detrimental.
Right.
So I
How do
see
you
this.
digest it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I see this in spiritual entrepreneur, healer practitioners that I mentor, coach, is like, how do you have, and what's the application? So that it's not just activating people, they need to have that assimilation, integration to be able to translate it into their modern day mundane world, that indigenous knowledge or that cosmic, download, activation, whatever we want to call it. And so, thank you for sharing that about, going in and out of the connection from soul and, or the spirit within oneself. It's really.
Well, I find that there's a few ways of activating, but then working on sustaining. And it also connects to nourishment and sustenance. So it's like what feeds your spirit. So I find like adventure, beauty, connecting to nature, connecting to my beloved. These things feed my spirit. Doing yoga, doing my prayers, and what I need like baselines because that's what I need to cut through the muck when my brain starts stirring up too much smogginess. It's like a baseline for me is what brightens or dims my spirit. So if I'm about to take an action, an action out of rage or whatever it is like what brightens or dims my spirit, and let me choose what brightens my spirit, and using that as an ethical guideline, but also to make a discovery process of what else feeds my spirit. Like I'm starting to, thank you, Jose. I'm starting to quest into music now and going through the very painful awkwardness of being a beginner on a keyboard, like where's C? That's like, I forgot, but there's a part of me that's quite enchanted by that. And I ask people that are listening to make these discoveries of unfolding your spirit and learning how to live your life according to the dictates of your spirit instead of the dictates of somebody else.
Yes.
And that's really powerful.
Yeah.
We have a Native American story called The Good Wolf and the Bad Wolf. And the child says to the elder, in the end, who wins, the good wolf or the bad wolf? And the elder says, which wolf did you feed mostly in your life? And also the indigenous people of Australia tell us we must be like the snake and keep shedding unwanted layers. The snake sheds its skin 3 or 4 times a year. And then people say, what layers are you talking about, Jose? And I'm talking about the layers of conditioning from parents, religion, media, society, all these belief systems that have been put into our place. Before, we must step out of society's facade and conditioning to be free. And this is what we are taught. And Anna and I are neither left, neither right. We just go with the truth. There is no politics in our teachings or anything. We are beyond the establishment because the establishment trades in deceit and facades. So therefore, we follow the dictates of our spirit, and like the snake, we shed all the unwanted layers of conditioning that we just naturally picked up growing up in a society like this.
And I want to offer another thing cool about snakes because I'm an animal person, so I love these things. Snakes have eye plates. And when they shed, they also shed their eye plates. And I think that's a really fine thing for us to learn how to do is to shed the covering, the filters on our eyes. And that makes it possible, one, to be able to see beauty and to be able to perceive more and more of the truth, which is so far beyond our regimented thinking.
Yeah, beautiful. And one of the things I speak about is the soulful GPS, right? And it could say, oh, soulful, it's catchy, it's a new age phrase. Okay, it might be out there, but that's not what Soulful Mondays. And I love what you two are speaking about: no left, no right, just straight through like an arrow to the authenticity of one spirit. And yesterday I just facilitated for my global firewalk instructors. So I'm a global firewalk institute is my one of my schools, and I teach spiritual entrepreneur practitioners to be instructors so they can then take the firewalk into their expansion into their business, and the anatomy of fire and the gross chaotic fire that we all have within our gut. And once we can take that gross chaotic, this is what we're seeing in the world. Everybody's burning up. There's a burning up inside. But when we can sit with that gross, chaotic, messy fire in the lower chakras, Manipura chakra, the solar plexus, right? This is our fire, all our relations. And we can sublimate that in the tantric fashion and the yogic fashion and bring that to the ajna chakra for this expansion, a consciousness of fire, this vision. It becomes much more refined. And I actually flew here just for this group to initiate them in a 40-foot firewalk. And one of the homes, the land of the people, the keeper to the land, she has a snake, and she said, "May I offer the skin? It just shed a week ago, and she saved the skin." And it's like, yes, offer it to the belly of the fire. And so, thank you for bringing up the snake and the firewalk.
Yeah.
We have
Well,
a trilogy.
in our culture in Australia, the Rainbow Serpent it's the world's oldest religion. It's not even really a religion, but it's known as a religion on all the search engines. And the cosmic rainbow serpent is the world's oldest culture, dating back at least 60,000 years with the Aboriginal people. And the cosmic rainbow serpent sung the universe into creation. Universe. Uni means one, verse means song. One song threading all creation together. So she came down to earth, she slid her giant body, she created valleys, gorges, streams, and rivers. And when she was done, she shed her skin and became the Milky Way. So this is the story of the cosmic rainbow serpent. And the beauty of the Aboriginal people of Australia is they came way before all religion, before philosophy, and ceremony came first. And from ceremony, which back then was connecting to nature through song, dance, the dancers came from watching the animal movements, the song came from the surrounds, and they created something which became ceremony, which then became paganism, which then became philosophy, which then became religion. So all religion, all organized religion owes its roots to the Aboriginal people and their ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
Because all religion took from, when creating a mass, for instance, they saw what the pagans did, with the smoking rituals. The smoking rituals, candles,
yes.
incense, the whole bit. So ceremony was to influence all faith.
Yeah, beautiful. And how is it now in your tribe, in your culture? What is it that they have to say about the times in the world that you two might want to share with the audience?
Well, the thing is, I'm not sure. I'm just like the Native American in Australia. The Aboriginal culture was totally decimated with the English invasion. Mm-hmm. So many of the languages, rituals, and traditions were lost.
Yeah.
So we only have a very small fraction of the traditions still available.
Preserved.
And of course, what we've done at Descendants Aboriginal is we have tried to convey our message to the world that we're still here, we're still alive, and it's never too late to get our land back, our health back, our stories back, and our language back.
Wow. Oh, thank you. Thank you, truly. And I know me and my staff, we will broadcast this to every place we need, and for sure get a connection to both of you. And for the viewer here that might be, as Anna said, in a trauma, and for those that are not feeling their own spirit, they're listening to modernity versus the indigenous within themselves, to where they come from and their own back and back and back of the line, or even the cosmic conscious connection to whatever, whatever that is for anybody, God or a Buddha, an Allah, or something that one might pray to, offer to. What might you both take time individually to share to, I just want to, this is a sacred bell. I just want to, ring it really in honor of both of you and the work that you're doing. And, from this point, just this little fraction of a pinnacle, open this way here for people to know, as I share, is we can be in the world, but we don't have to be worldly.
Correct.
And we can do whatever it is that we're doing, whatever the jobs, the status, the occupation. We can have a home, a vehicle, but we don't have to be possessed by it and worldly of it. And in the shadow aspect of things, we don't have to, what I say is, prostitute our soul to obtain something of materialism. So selling ourselves out. And, that's one of the things we're doing here, is just saying, hey, no judgment. Let's just be real, raw, and organic, to say we all know that, life is overwhelming. It puts us to sleep in these mundane ways. And only we, you, me, and every viewer here watching can jump off the train. The other morning I woke up here in, this cottage in this lake house that I'm in, and I'm in meditation. No sooner I was in the meditation for a couple minutes and I got the words, Superman's not coming in. And I love what you guys say, because it's like, we can share the knowledge and the wisdom, however that's been, and our experience, strength, and hope. I'm also 32 years clean and sober, from that journey, you know what I mean? And it's like, but at the end of the day, in my teachings as well, it's like you are to listen to your cosmic conscious connection, do the healing for your ancestors that have gone, and then bring your medicine to the world. But it requires that moment to jump off of that wheel, that habitat gerbil wheel, and
Absolutely.
give homage to the spirit of oneself.
I like giving people something to do.
Yes.
So they don't get caught up so much in their thinking, because thinking takes you so far. Like, oh, I want to think about, I want to meditate, so I need to put a time for when I can do that. Thinking can do some good things, and I'm an advocate of good thinking and also breaking habitual thinking. But what I want to give people to do right now is
Beautiful.
some breathing. So people who are watching, do this with me. Both of you, please put your hands on the sides of your ribs and exhale everything out so you get empty. Tiger taught me how to breathe this way. And then inhale and spread your ribs sideways. Inhale slow enough that you can begin to fill every air sac in your lungs. And then when you're absolutely full, pause, take your shoulder blades down. So take that tension out of your neck. And then exhale everything out, pulling the belly in, using the low abs. We have been living in the most breathless time of humanity this last 2 years with the masks and all the fear. So breathing deeply changes your chemistry. And it disperses that despair, the fog, the apathy. So my request to our listeners is, as you're listening and as you're learning something new, breathe deeply. Start breathing deeply in every aspect of your life. Just remind yourself many times a day, like, oh, let me take a deep breath. And then you forget. And then you remind yourself again later, especially like when you're interacting with another human being in whatever way. Breathe deeply and get curious about how that changes your interaction.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for that. The gift of remembrance to breathe.
It's like without breath, we're dead.
Yeah. Without it, we sure are not, here. And what about you, Jose? What might we close with something? Do you have a music or something that you might what's moving inside of you? Because again, it's your free expression is so welcome here.
Yeah, I think that we need to bring ceremony into our lives. As I said, it's been around for 60,000 years, so something must be working. And ceremony is a celebration and connection with nature and a connection with ourselves. So time management for the shaman is of utmost importance to make sure we get our daily walk in with nature, to do our prayers, to sing our songs. And for Anna and I, it also means a daily yoga practice and to nourish our souls with the highest vegan food available. So I'm encouraging all the listeners to become their own shaman, to become their own teacher. And to do that, we just need to look at our time management and include all things that nourish our soul in every day.
To also look at the times that we're in as your personal hero or heroine's quest.
Yeah.
And when you focus on the stories that we've learned from about the hero's quest, it ain't easy. There's something that happens that pushes us out of whatever our known environment is. And we go into all these places where we get terrified, we get imprisoned, we get hurt, we come close to death. But somewhere in there, we gather the treasure, we gather these gems of wisdom, and we discover aspects of ourselves that we wouldn't have. And so in these difficult times, make this your hero's quest.
Beautiful. Yes, thank you so much. And this was a nugget in 2020. If you had the capacity to, what I call 2020 was the greatest homecoming of humanity. And
it was the sacred pause.
The global pause. The global.
It was a global sacred pause. And even though we didn't really like the way it was done, in the end, it was the best thing that could have happened for Anna and I, because we were touring the world relentlessly, 35 cities every year. Every Monday, we were in a different country. And we didn't know how we were going to get out of it because we were just touring to pay the bills. And then we got the pause, and that pause gave us time to work on online content, new material, music, and also to delve even deeper into self-knowledge.
Beautiful. Yeah, isn't it something? And in some ways, in the technology, when we think of what people are teaching online, it's like we haven't skipped a beat.
Absolutely. During our teacher trainings now, we got people from Russia, people from China, France, Spain, all online at the same time, taking the course at different hours. And we were able to connect our global community by doing the training online.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's it. Well, I'm very grateful for both of you. Thank you for giving that application that you both spoke about how to, come home to your own medicine and some of the simple practice and discipline of taking the time, etching out some time and space, even in the mundane of life, to just listen, but be in nature, one with nature, looking, because when you were both talking, what I was not hearing and what you were not saying was that you both have this consciousness of prana through your food, through your environment, through your actions in that prana feeding, which is life force. And so for the viewer here, know that you too can take that walk in nature. You can eat high vibrational nutrients in your diet and be connected into community, pray, have the connection of community. I was sharing this, I'm here with one of my students who's journeyed along with the others in the teachings. And what I've learned as a village child, a tribal child, so to speak, in modern day life of my 55 years, is that community can remedy 99% of what ails somebody. There's something very magical about the life in the village of community. And when we are able, and if we look at many things that have happened in the last 2 years, when you talk about the breath and the mask and isolation, no connection, just from a tantra massage therapist and teacher, if I give you a massage, we're going along the skin, which is the skin is the largest organ, as we know, that activates the anahata, the heart chakra. And now we're not touching. There's no connection here. So many things have come our way. And I don't know, for myself personally, it gives me more resilience to move forward. And we've just had to reconfigure ourselves to how we're going to bring it to the world. So I'm very grateful. I feel humbled and truly honored to have met you both and for your yes to come here on Soulful Mondays. I look forward to, doing some work with you both and see where we can collaborate and bring the people. Because the time, as I said to the group yesterday, is more than ever is now.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, we're with you on
more
that.
than ever is now. Yeah. So, any last words, Anna, you want to say before we part?
Yeah, choose life. Choose life. Make that also one of your basic ethics. Like, look at the actions you're going to do. Is it something that dims your life force or brightens it?
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. How about you there, my brother from another mother?
I don't know who actually said this, but I always use it, that everything you want is on the other side of fear. Take the risk, go out on a limb. That's where the ripe fruit is.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, blessings to you too. And I'll tag on to both of you and say what my elder, I'm actually getting ready to go meet her. She's 88. She's been mentoring me for 35 years. I'm going to have lunch with her and close myself out here from this geographic area that I once lived and a whole life that's now complete. And what she'll often say is, if you ever want to know where Aunt Susan is, just go to the nearest edge. That's where you'll meet her. So I love that, because living on that edge, there's something about it. It snaps us, it awakens us, and it takes the sleepwalking away.
Correct.
When it's not so comfortable and familiar, the complacency will lift and the fog will lift. So yeah, take a risk today, viewers. You're worth it.
Yes.
And the time is yesterday and now, huh?
Correct.
So I thank both of you. If I was there, for sure I would bow and touch your feet. And I want to say thank you so much for all
Thank
that
you,
you
Anne.
bring. And I love you guys.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you for what
you
you
too.
do. Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
for what you do.
Blessings. Have a wonderful day.
Grazie, bella.
Ok, grazie bella.
Vai bene, italiana.
Mwah. Journey
Ciao.
well. Journey well.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.